Victor Newman is finally being forced to answer the one question he never wanted to face: what really happened to Lily? And when Devon corners him for the truth, it becomes clear this isn't just a family concern, it's a power move that could change everything. The air inside Crimson Lights felt heavier than usual, thick with tension that had nothing to do with the coffee brewing behind the counter. Sharon Newman stood near the espresso machine, her hands trembling slightly as she wiped down an already spotless surface. She had been trying to keep busy ever since the news broke, the news she never wanted to hear again. Matt Clark was free. Nick Newman entered through the door, his jaw tight, shoulders squared. One look at Sharon and he knew she had barely been holding herself together. He didn't say anything at first. He didn't have to. The fear between them spoke loud enough. Before either of them could start the conversation they'd rehearsed in their heads, the door opened again. Noah Newman stepped inside, Sienna Bacall close behind him. Nick immediately noticed the look on his son's face, not confusion, not surprise. Anger. You heard, Nick said flatly. Noah didn't waste time. Yeah, we heard. Sienna crossed her arms, trying to appear calm, but Sharon could see the unease in her eyes. Sharon's heart dropped. You weren't supposed to find out like this, Sharon said softly. Noah pulled out his phone. It's not just that he's out. He handed it to Nick. On the screen was a text message from an unknown number. Miss May. Another message followed. Tell your family I'm just getting started. Sharon's breath caught in her throat, the room tilted. He already reached out, she whispered. Noah nodded. He's not hiding. Nick's hands tightened around the phone. This is harassment, it's intimidation. It's a threat, Sharon corrected, her voice shaking. He's threatening you. Her mind raced backward to every dark moment connected to Matt Clark, every lie, every manipulation, every violent twist that had torn through their lives. I won't let him near you, Nick said firmly, looking directly at Noah. I promise you. But Noah's focus wasn't on himself. He mentioned family, Noah said, which means he's not just after me. Sharon immediately turned to Sienna. Has he contacted you? Sienna shook her head. No, but that doesn't mean he won't. The protective instinct in Sharon flared instantly. You need to stay somewhere safe. I'm not hiding, Noah shot back. That's what he wants. Nick stepped closer. This isn't about pride, it's about safety. The front door opened again. Detective James Burrow entered, his expression serious. He didn't look surprised to find the Newmans gathered. I figured you'd all be here, Burrow said. We're monitoring Clark. We knew there was a possibility he'd attempt contact. Possibility, Nick snapped. He's already threatening my son. Burrow took the phone, scanning the message. We'll trace the number. You think he cares about being traced? Noah said bitterly. Sharon wrapped her arms around herself. He's playing games. Nick's eyes darkened. Then it's time the games stopped. Burrow looked at him carefully. I need you to let the law handle this. Nick didn't respond. Because he wasn't sure he intended to. Across town, the atmosphere was no less charged. Devon Winters paced his living room, phone pressed to his ear as Nate Hastings stood nearby, arms crossed. You're sure? Nate asked once Devon ended the call. Devon nodded grimly. Kane admitted it. Lily and the twins are gone. Nate swore under his breath. It had been unfolding piece by piece, first tension, then confrontation, then sudden silence. Now confirmations. They were taken, Devon said quietly, and Kane's acting like this is leverage. Nate's mind was already working through the implications. Leverage against who? Devon gave him a look. Victor, Nate muttered. Because who else would benefit from putting pressure on Kane Ashby? Victor Newman never moved without strategy, never made a play without purpose. And taking Lily Winters and her children, even temporarily, would certainly shake Kane. It's despicable, Nate said, even for Victor. Devon nodded, anger simmering beneath the surface. If he did this, he's crossed a line. They both knew Abby Newman was already fragile after Dominic Winters had been snatched not long ago. The family was still reeling from that trauma. We can't go to Abby without proof, Nate said, not yet. Devon agreed reluctantly. She doesn't need more stress. But they needed answers. And there was only one man who could give them. Victor Newman. At the Newman ranch, Victor stood by the fireplace, hands clasped behind his back, staring into the flames. He had anticipated this. He had calculated it. And he was not rattled. When Devon and Nate arrived, they didn't waste time on pleasantries. "We need to talk," Devon said firmly. Victor turned slowly, calm as ever. "About Lily," Nate replied. A pause. Victor's expression barely shifted. "What about her?" "She's been taken," Devon said bluntly, "along with the twins." Victor's gaze sharpened. "That's unfortunate." "Don't do that," Devon snapped. "Don't pretend this isn't connected to you." Silence filled the room. Nate stepped forward. "Did you arrange this? Is this about Newman Enterprises?" Victor inhaled slowly, measured. "You think I would endanger my own grandchildren?" "You've used leverage before," Devon shot back. Victor's voice dropped slightly. "Lily and the twins are perfectly safe." Devon froze. "Safe? Not missing? Not unknowns? Safe?" Nate caught it too. "So you know where they are?" Victor didn't deny it. "I needed Kane to believe there was a threat," Victor said evenly. "Sometimes perception is more powerful than reality." Devon's anger flared. "You orchestrated this." Victor's eyes hardened. "I orchestrated protection." "For who?" Nate demanded. "For my company," Victor replied, "and for this family." Devon stared at him in disbelief. "You call that protection?" Victor stepped closer, his voice steady. "Kane needs to understand that he cannot outmaneuver me. Newman Enterprises belongs where it belongs." "With you," Nate said dryly. Victor didn't flinch. "Yes." Devon's jaw clenched. "Lily didn't deserve to be part of your power play." "She is fully aware of what's happening," Victor said. "She agreed to cooperate." Devon's expression faltered. "You expect us to believe that?" Nate asked. Victor's tone cooled. "Believe what you want, but no harm will come to them." The room remained thick with distrust. Because even if Lily was safe, Victor had still pulled the trigger. Meanwhile, on Kane's train, the atmosphere was suffocating. Phyllis Summers stood near the door, only to have a guard step in her way. "You're not leaving," he said flatly. Phyllis rolled her eyes. "I wasn't asking permission." Kane Ashby watched her carefully. "You should sit down," Kane said. "Or what?" Phyllis challenged. The tension between them was electric. Kane's voice lowered. "I will do whatever it takes to put Newman Enterprises back in Victor's hands." Phyllis scoffed. "Even if it costs you everything." "My family walks free," Kane replied. "That's all that matters." Phyllis studied him. There was desperation in his eyes, but also resolve. "You're playing a dangerous game," she warned. Kane stepped closer. "Don't test what I'm capable of." Phyllis smirked faintly. "I'm not easily intimidated." Their stare-down intensified. Outside, the train continued forward, destination unclear. And in Genoa City, the war lines were fully drawn. Back at Crimson Lights, Sharon's anxiety had only grown stronger. After Detective Burrow left, she turned to Nick. "He's escalating," she said quietly. Nick's jaw flexed. "Then I'll escalate back." "No," Sharon snapped, surprising even herself. "You can't take this into your own hands." Nick stepped closer. "He's threatening our son. And you going after him will only make it worse." But Nick wasn't convinced. "I won't wait for him to strike first," Nick said firmly. Noah watched his parents carefully. He understood both sides, the fear and the fury. But deep down, he knew something else. Matt Clark wanted chaos. And chaos was spreading. At the Newman ranch, Devon and Nate left more unsettled than when they arrived. "You believe him?" Nate asked once they were outside. Devon exhaled slowly. "I believe he thinks he's justified." "And Lily? I need to hear it from her. They weren't done. Not even close." On the train, Phyllis folded her arms. "You think Victor will just hand everything back to you?" she asked Kane. "He will if I prove my loyalty," Kane said. Phyllis studied him. "Or he'll use you and discard you." Kane's expression darkened. "You do know Victor like I do." Phillies let out a short laugh. "Trust me, I know him well enough." The guard shifted slightly, still blocking her path. Phillies leaned toward Kane. "If Lily finds out you're gambling her safety for corporate control." "She's safe," Kane interrupted. "That's not the point." Silence settled between them. Because even in power plays there were consequences. And in Genoa City, consequences always came due. As night fell, the tension across the city remained electric. Sharon barely slept, phone clutched in her hand. Nick stared at the ceiling, mind racing with plans he shouldn't be making. Devon prepared for another confrontation. Nate watched the Newman empire with cautious eyes. Victor stood alone at the ranch, convinced he had calculated every angle. But in Genoa City, no one ever truly controls the fallout. And Matt Clark was watching. Waiting. Smiling. The war wasn't over. It had only just begun.